is if you could do, say, a blended stitch.
Dude, I can't believe you said that. Because today I was thinking after I did this, I have ideas for a copper, turquoise, crisscross stitching.
I mean, I think you ought to stay a while. But
I used to do this shit
oh, good.
every once in a while. I hated it, but I did it.
Okay. Hey, Rich, AOK Knives, AOK Product Reviews. Hey, Brad, my first guest, podcasting, if you want to call it that. That's all. That's all you need to know. Chilling. Now, he was Air Force veteran. I'm an Army veteran. And then we got a couple other buddies. They're all veterans because it seems like we're all veterans. And we just talk.
Club ride together.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if right there, I don't want it because I don't want to say fuck too much on my channel. You know, I don't want to swear too much. I want to keep it.
Yeah.
Because when I'm talking to people and I'm in a group, I'm not going to go into the middle of any group and go.
At this point, I just start to say a bunch of stupid cuss words and act like an idiot. I'm going
to talk to them, and if they're super high intellectuals, they're probably super hard trying not to swear. So you know that you're done, and you just got to walk away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like, so I want to get it to where you talk. Isn't this unfortunate? Because we got to filter ourselves. Because we're scared we might say something that's woke or, cancelable. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to speak freely. Because you may say it's so weird that you, like, how about this? So this is the thing is like, we can't talk about what we talked about. Wait, isn't that history? You know what I mean? So we can't talk about what happened in our history because they have canceled that talk. Because, I'm sorry, but when I was 12 years old, skateboarding, I wasn't 12 and skateboarding, I was 8 and 9 in California. Skateboarding on California TV for the first time, TV radio for the first time in the history of the world. You know what I mean? It's all taped and filmed. The history of people saying the N-word, the F-word, you know what I mean? All these things. What's going to happen to that section of our history? It's going to be like evaporated. Because can you imagine like the future in 30 years? How woke it's going to be? And how like everybody's going to be this androgynous, ambiguous creature that walks around that, I'm he, she, they, us, them. Female binary. You know what I mean?
Or does the pendulum swing back? Does it come back to traditional values and, the patriotic
when
Americans
has it done that?
And all
Do
that?
we know? Do we have record of that it's done that? Or would that be breaking history?
No, but could the silent folks start voicing their opinions and try to get America to be more traditional like it used to be again? I don't know if it'll go there or not.
Okay, so I want to challenge the fact, has there ever been a society, like a generation or, you know what I mean? Has there ever been, like, you had the Roman, all that shit, that's what we're supposed to have learned in high school. It's all this history and we can't even intelligently talk about it. I can't on my cell phone because I'm taping this. So now I'm really dumb. But you know what I mean? My point is that it was my point. Jesus.
Society ever reversed itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Has there ever been a society, like say, okay, the Romans, they started off, they weren't the best, they weren't the biggest, they became the biggest. You know what I mean? I think. You got to start small. Everything does. A human being's got to start small. We got to be a child. And then, you know what I mean? So does the society, right? So, has there ever been a society that peaked like Rome, went to shit, Sodom and Gomorrah kind of shit, and then just did hey, we want to be traditional and everything's great? Again, I don't think there's ever been a society that goes straight Sodom and Gomorrah and makes a reset. It's an auto reset, dude.
But the Germans went from world player to tougher times and world player again between the world wars. Maybe it's not the same cultural recovery like America's feeling or facing right now, where
So
the
what you're
culture's
saying,
changed.
so what you're saying is we're potentially in a cultural war that is not like we, you know, when you're going to war. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're sending you to war, son. You've just been drafted. You're going to the war. You know you're going to war. And is cultural war a war that you don't even know exists and it's happening all around you? You know what I mean? I know I spun myself off, so I can't close it. But I'm hoping you'll help me get there.
I mean, I think people feel it, right? I mean, they feel it. The media comes across differently than it used to.
But it's not tangible. There's not bodies in bags.
Yeah, right.
There's not bombs.
Right,
there's not
right,
smoke. There's not fire.
It's more subtle. It's more.
Exactly. But it's still a war.
Yeah.
A cultural war.
It's not in your face.
A cultural, ethical, moral, salvation type war, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Am I going way far off?
No. I'm just thinking and digesting and contemplating. I'm not a historian, so.
Neither am I. I don't know shit. I watched a couple movies. I don't know how we got there. We got there. How did we get there?
We were talking about the cultural shifts and kind of the not in your face but subtle war that America maybe is going through right now.
Oh yeah. The fact that it's potentially a war that we're really not even aware we're in yet, and may never know, because we may get destroyed before we even realize we're in a fight or a battle for our souls.
Yeah, where's it going to lead? You know, where we headed, and what's going to happen to our kids and their kids, and it's different. It's obviously different than it was when we were growing up. Faded.
Yeah.
And I think the love of the country is not what it used to be. It's people are more differential about it these days, and a little more focused on what they have going on and not the bigger picture with the country.
Right. I think it's very hard to understand. You know what I mean? That shit got deep. Dang, son, let's talk about cigars.
Cigars and bourbon.
Yeah. So I'm going to open the first one. Now, I don't have the prices in front of me. I had them written down, though.
Plug them in later, maybe?
Yeah, who cares? But this one was the only one I got. So these were all supposed to be, so none of them are loaded with butane. So I think we should at least load one.
Okay.
All right. All of these are cutter and lighter packs. And this is what I think is just a lighter, accidentally purchased. But maybe there's something in there that does more. Right? And this is the XIFEI. Man, I love me some Chinese branding. Let's just put letters on box. Any letter. And handsome gentleman. Top hat. Yeah, I'll edit that whole thing out right there. No, seriously though. Nice box.
Very nice packaging.
Very
Nice
very nice packaging. Come on, dude.
And who's this guy?
I don't know.
He looks familiar, but
He looks like Holmes.
something.
Yeah. What is that? Geez, Sherlock Holmes. But
That's
that's
from a game. He looks like a dude from a game.
Monopoly.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, but there's no monocle. And then I said Sherlock Holmes, and this is obviously a cigarette or a cigar. It's not a pipe, because if it's Sherlock Holmes, there'd be a pipe.
I like the pop up, but it's not the same without some gas. Let's load this.
Oh, you want to load that bad boy?
Yeah, let's see what
Might
happens.
as well. It's the only lighter. So this,
Is it?
yeah, the Scripto butane. Now I've never know. It comes with like tips. I never know how to do this, and I don't think Brad knows either.
We'll get it.
Because I don't think you shake it. But the directions are always, be careful because it gets cold. This is like compressed air. And when it gets flowing, look at that. That was quick.
Nice flame.
You like the flame high? Okay, so here real quick. Brad's a cigar smoker. He's not a cigarette smoker. He's not a pipe smoker. He enjoys a cigar on occasion like this, or anytime that he feels whatever. It's
Celebratory.
It's a man. I don't gotta say it. It's a manly thing,
Right.
and it's maybe a binary thing, and all that other things. But he smokes. I don't at all. I don't. I just never liked it.
So here's what I like about this thing. I like the size of it. I like that the lid pops away from you and gets out of your way to light. And you can also drop it down. So, you know,
The foot of your cigar is out here. Yeah, it's hot.
you don't have to get right up on it to light it. You can get way below and just do a little turn, char the whole end. This thing's going to light great, I can tell you, right off the bat. It's going to light very well. And
That's
it's got a hole punch. So you can center punch your cigar for the smoke.
Wait a second.
Yep.
What's so cigar comes with the leaf wrapped around the tip?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got a cigarette or a doobie, and the end's open already, right? It's kind of cigarettes look weird because it's just all white. I don't know this because I don't smoke, but you don't have to physically cut a cigarette to smoke and get the smoke. Now on a cigar, if you light one end, you're not going to smoke, or is it going to be completely filtered through the what do they wrap cigars? Tobacco, right?
Tobacco leaf, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got to relieve the end. You got to be able to draw through it, right? It's a solid wrapper all the way around. It's called a cap. And if you're using a guillotine cutter, like most of the common cutters have
Maybe
double-headed cuts on them.
I'm going to pull one out, and not one I think might win. Hold on a second.
Yeah, let me see that.
No, not this one. That one's going to win.
Yeah, that's the same
That
thing.
one's plastic.
Yeah.
So use that one.
So traditional double guillotine cutter. These are great for nipping the cap off. You want to do a very thin slice.
If you cut the cap off too far up the cigar, it's going to unravel. You don't want it to unravel. So you just want to nip the very edge of the cap.
We'll do that
These do very well.
in the photo box too, so it'll be bright, and we're gonna nip one of these cigars. So I don't know where these came from. This one's $10.75, and this one's $12.99. So these must be Tom Bradshaw's. Okay, so
Thanks, Tom.
Hey, see how I know this stuff, guys?
You know, right then, is that expensive? $10.75 for a cigar?
That's a good solid middle.
Does it mean like I'm shopping for? I'm shopping for like a. What kind of car am I shopping for if it's got an orange sticker tag that looks like something in your grocery store is put on a cigar?
That's not indicative of anything on the smoke.
And it says 1075.
Yeah.
So, and then the same thing happened on this long skinny one. It looks like something Clint Eastwood would be smoking on. So is that thing? No, seriously, Brad. It's like if there's things I know. If I'm doing something and I'm looking at, say, a knife, I'm like, that knife right there with that sticker on it, that's not a good sign. You know what I mean? Because my knives don't have stickers on them.
I don't think it's an indication of like a discount lower level cigar or anything like that.
It's not?
That's just what the guys are branding them with. Yeah.
It's kind of old school too, maybe like in a cigar shop. And
Yeah.
you know how they got them in the things.
Yeah,
and they'll
he's
just go,
coming across with his
there's
gun.
probably like a 70-year-old guy that was retired. How old are you? 60. How close are you to 70?
40 something.
You're gonna be that guy like with the magazines and the newspapers out front, because they still got those stores in like small towns. Remember when we were growing up and we had those suckers?
Oh, yeah.
And there's always somebody up to no good in there. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. So these might be good.
So cut them.
Oh,
What do you want to do?
I don't know, man. These aren't mine. I just know somebody left them here. Is that possession?
Yeah, possession.
9 cents? Because, I mean, take a look at those. Tell me if you think those are any good.
I don't have my glasses on, but what's
well,
that label say?
Oh, that label says Padron
Yeah, I thought it was a Padron. Yeah. Good smoke.
handmade.
That's a good smoke.
Imported. Is that good? Did I read that or what?
Yeah.
I just bought new glasses. These Oakley glasses were expensive. Very expensive. But they work. And if you got to like read like down here, you know what I mean? I got progressive lenses, but yet it doesn't like have that line. So like if you're driving your car and you're behind a truck and you happen to nod off and now the truck's automatically 10 feet closer to you. Yeah, it's not like that. It's gradual. So, Oakley glasses, Lens Crafters. Be expecting my check next week. Spinoza.
Yeah.
Not familiar with those guys.
Okay, so and this one's 13, and this one was 1075. Okay, enough of that. I get this. We won't cut both.
Okay.
Maybe we should.
So-
'cause we gotta smoke.
So yeah, just the difference, right? So you got the double guillotine, cuts from both sides, does a nice job at shaving the cap without removing it if you're careful. The thing I like about the center punches, these are great for, it's really hard to mess up the cap. If you can see that, there's a small 1/4 inch or 5/16 maybe hole cutter in there, which does a really nice job of cutting a hole in the blunt ends. They don't work on torpedoes, anything that comes to a point. You'll want to use a double guillotine, but these work really well on the blunts.
Blunts. Blunts as in blunt-ended cigars, not what Rich is thinking. So that's where Snoop Doggy Dogg got his, he probably started the word blunt, that guy.
Oh, man.
The Padron. And I think we need a knife.
You want to use one of the cigar knives to cut it?
Is that what you do?
I don't know. I thought you wanted to check those out.
Yeah, you got one.
Oh, you want to use the cutter.
What's a cigar knife?
I thought you had a pocket knife that was made for cutting cigars.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Oh, dude.
Or it didn't come. Because you're the one who sent me that knife.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll do this.
Okay, so if that's all you had, is that what you would do?
Yeah.
You would cut the plastic with that?
No.
No? Why not? Because you don't want to
No bother. So what you do usually, what I've done for years, I don't know if everybody does this, you just pinch the cellophane and just work it out.
I thought I did that. We're going to do that reverse, and then Brad's going to be teaching sex ed.
Hey,
You wanna cut it?
Oh, hey, wait. And I've got a fan up here. I'll maybe try to do a little quick. That fan is going to be an instrumental part of this whole process. Because, yeah, in the windy city of Chicago, they smoke cigars, too. So that's going to tell you, like, when you got something like this and you're going, Poo-chang! Look at that. Look, I'm in Chicago right now. It's on 1. Before we're done, Brad's going to put it on 9. I think there's 9 levels of airspeed. This is 1. And this is test 1. That's what we're going to do. We're going to test each lighter. Look, look. See it? 1. We're going to see which lighter.
Give me that thing.
This is genius. You think I'm... Be careful, kids. Hot. I think that's good shit, don't you?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's a lighter test. There's a lot of guys in Chicago that gotta smoke cigars. That's where Al Capone's from. What you think? Explain what you did, though,
Does a
man.
great job lighting.
This guy's like freaking...
Listen, Run DMC.
Okay, while he was doing what he's doing, I clipped it nice and thin. Didn't get into the cap edge, but just a little
Okay,
shave.
in the box, we'll do that, and you'll see what he did. Man, that was like ninja shit right there. You were lighting up, and if that was weed, you'd be high.
Right now.
So then, with this lighter, you do a nice little coal on the end. Just want to get it all the way around. So while you're lighting, do a little spin.
I gotta move this.
And you just get it red all the way across.
How's that?
I don't know if you can see it this far away.
Now, okay, so are you just keeping it in your head? Like you're shutting your throat off, you're shutting everything off, right? Because you don't want that shit going down in, right?
You don't want to inhale. You just want to get a good draw.
If you want to get a good draw.
That thing does a really good job of blowing the smoke out of here.
It's not blowing out of here, Brad. It's blowing around in here.
Blowing to you.
Yeah. I'm sitting here. If you could get high off of a Padron, I'd be baked.
Hey, Rich, how does this smoke?
It's not bad, though. Guys, Okay, so I told you earlier, I don't smoke. I'm a non-smoker. I've always been a non-smoker, and I'm gonna tell you why right now.
Oh, I got like a little ashtray for you. Oh, we're not talking about what just happened, Brad.
Folks, there's a whole story behind that one.
Yeah. All right. So that's the bottom of a bottle I cut with a tile saw, and then I have bottles, and I put them over.
Jesus. Excuse me.
I have to edit that out. So I cut the bottoms off the bottles because they go over pendants, and they're these really neat looking, authentic, traditional glass bottle cut shade, glass shade things. I'll put a picture right here because I got them in my phone still, I think. And they're nice. I don't do those anymore because it's a pain in the butt. But I keep these bottoms because I have friends that smoke and they like make good ashtrays. They feel old school. You know what I mean? It's like if I was a mechanic, the cool thing was back in the day, and still probably, if you're a mechanic, your ashtrays were cylinder heads, right? Or
Pistons.
Pistons.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know. They were pistons. So they think they're tough because they had like a big machine chunk of metal that looked just like an ashtray. Well, I'm an artist. So I have cut glass. The fan blowing that shit right in my face. And me saying, I'm still coughing because of that stupid pneumonia. I'm going to have to get another antibiotic, I think. I'm not coughing from the cigar. And I've been in places where their cigars. See, I had deviated septum surgery. What, 2 years ago maybe now? I lived here though.
I don't remember.
Almost 2 years ago I had deviated septum surgery. And I came out and I don't smell any better. And I mean, I smell great, but I don't smell any better. And
it's not anal related.
Anal? What, my deviated septum? Mm-hmm. It's my nose, man. Oh, so you're being a butt joke. He's got butt jokes. All right, no, so funny guy. But I didn't stop snoring. I still snore like a bear. I still can't smell and taste anything very well, if at all sometimes. So I'm not a good tester of the smell of cigars, I guess. I'm sitting here trying to talk about how I'm like, oh, they're fine with me, and I'm sensitive. I can't smell shit, but I'm sensitive to cigars. Yeah, no, that didn't make sense then. But I can smell it, and I'm like, doesn't bother me. But I've never let that bother me. Because when I was a kid, my mom, she was one of those moms that, she was a 70s mom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your mom was a 60s mom.
60s, 70s, yeah.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
She started being a mom in the 60s, Brad. My mom started being a mom in the 70s. I was born in 1970. I'm her oldest child. Was her oldest child. But my point is, I'm busting your balls.
Keep going.
I'm busting you. No, so, but my point is, and I forgot my point now, but we were talking about my mom, and oh yeah, so she had to enter parenthood. I'm not going to give my birthday. In the 70s. 1970. Everybody knows I'm 53. All right, so, okay, 1970, my mom became a mom. How old's your oldest brother?
That's me.
Okay, you're 62?
Mm-hmm.
How old was your mom when she had you?
20.
Oh, just like my mom. My mom was a sophomore at WVU. My dad was a junior at WVU. They had me when she was a junior and he was a senior at Morgantown. I was born. They were both going to college at WVU, and I was born on the campus at the hospital in Morgantown, West Virginia. That kind of cool?
Cool.
You know, your mom, when she was 20 and you're 62, means that was 1958?
60.
1960, you're dead on, you were born?
Mm-hmm.
So you're born 60. You're exactly 10 years, more or less, older than me. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay. And we've been friends for, how long have we been friends?
Gosh,
Since
probably close to 15.
Has been
13 or 15.
the first ride. So motorcycles. The first ride that we did was the first time I met you. It was on a ride.
Mm-hmm.
And was it the Dragon Tail?
Yeah, down to the.
Or was it the Nationals?
Wasn't it both?
Well, no.
I think that year.
That wasn't Nationals. That was just a trip. North Carolina. Dragon Tail. What's the name of the town?
The Iron Horse Campground, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And I was the only one.
Good place.
Was I the only one? So they had cowboy bunks. That was great. Everybody either was, because it was nice. It was like a log cabin. You're in the woods and in the mountains and shit. And there were cabins, and there was like quarters that were nicer, and rooms, individual rooms. And then they had the bunkhouse. It was like the cowboy bunkhouse. And it was $25 a night. Whereas if I had a room, it would have been $100 or so. And I'm like, man, I've never done like bunkhouse shit. So I did it. And I was the only one. And we were a bike club, and we had a lot of guys.
A lot of guys there, yeah.
What, like 40?
Probably.
40 is a lot of people on a motorcycle, and club attendance sometimes. Club attendance is tough, probably a lot, but to have 40 people from like all over the Northeast down in the Smoky Mountains to do a killer ride, and then we're all motorcycle enthusiasts / experienced riders for a long, long time, and you get there, and it was my Wally World. It was my. I'm not gonna say the DW words. Disney. I'm not saying that. It wasn't my Space Mountain, my Disney World. It was my Wally World. It was something else, because it's crazy, because you got to get to the top, and there's only one or two ways, right? Was there like 2 ways? So it's the top of this, like, I guess it's the mountain, big ass hill. I'm from West Virginia. And they say Mountain Mama, Mountain State. Really, it's just big hills in West Virginia. Because if you put West Virginia up next to Colorado and a couple of those, it's apples and oranges. So it's kind of strange that they even do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But West Virginia's got themselves some valleys. Like, you know what I mean?
Got some great roads there.
Incredible roads, incredible scenery. One thing, if you grew up a part of your life, yeah, it doesn't mean you had to be born there, or you had to, you know what I mean? If you were there for like, let's say 10 years, you lived in West Virginia, and you appreciated West Virginia while you were there. So you weren't born there and you didn't die there, kind of thing. And you're there. It ingrains something in your head about levels and terrain, and it makes you miss those hills, those ravines, those valleys, those back roads. It makes you think automatically. So, and the reason why I'm like acting so amazed by that, because you actually, it's like you of course, and I mean, I've lived in Indiana for 15 years, 16 years maybe, and lived in New Jersey for 3 years before I left West Virginia, and that's all flat. You know what I mean? But like, I know people that go there and they live there, and it's like the mountains and the valleys. And then when you set them on a piece of flat land, like I live right here, it's really weird. You know what I mean? But Indiana's kind of cool, because back in the day with the Indians and shit, because they all lived out here, you think, it's all cornfields and it's straight flat, probably like Utah, maybe. Not Utah. Utah's got mountains. Kansas, right? What is it?
Yeah, Iowa.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where that's just. But here, Indiana does have like ravines here and there. It'll be like you're going straight flat, and you just saw a combine. Next thing you know, you're in a little tiny valley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
South of Bloomington. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it does it a lot up north, up around here too, with White River, and then over by Camden, where I have the other barn.
Mm-hmm.
It does it there, and it's like, you know, because that's where the boathouse is at. You know how when you're going there, it gets a little Burlington boathouse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got way off tangent on that. Let's get back on cigars.
So, Brad opened that and popped it and hit it and smacked it and rubbed it down before I could even show you guys the proper way to punch the hole. Because then we were supposed to talk a little bit about the size of the punch on your lighter or your punch. Some people just got punches. It's just a punch, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is, I'm going to say, 3/16. Maybe a quarter.
Maybe a quarter, yeah.
That seems like a big hole. Now, do they do real small?
No, that's pretty common. That's about the common size.
So you guys don't like walk around. What are you? No, seriously. What are you? Are you a 1/4 inch? Or are you a 3/16? I'm an 1/8 inch. What are you?
I'm a quarter.
Yeah, see? I knew you were a puss.
Quarter.
I knew you were a puss. See? I'm an 1/8 inch, he's a quarter. There's see, okay, so now you guys are seeing this. This is like Night Fighter shit, but it's Cigar World shit, right? So first it's that question. You know, because you got the other guy on, you know, because these cigar dudes they're like 007 shit sometimes, right? So you know you're in your little cigar room, your little bar, and you pop open, you know that guy's been sitting there, and he saw you come in, and he's like, he thinks he's hot shit. I can't get this.
Thinks he's a quarter.
I can't get this open. Oh. I got it. There's a nail nick right here. There it is. It's inside. It's inset. I'm trying to pull on this. See? Poor design. I'm trying to pull on this because it's got a ridge. Why not have the hinge there? But no, then they got a little nail nick thing here because they want to be fancy and inset it. Alright, so where was I at?
I don't know.
You're supposed to be keeping track.
Talking about the punch.
Yeah, we were talking about
punch culture.
Yeah, the size. You know? And I was going somewhere good. I was feeling it.
It'll come back to you.
I hope so. But, oh, yeah, yeah. It just came back.
See?
So seriously, man, this is where I wish I had an editing effect. It does like this little glimmer. It goes, ting, you know, and you're just a little, you know.
You can add that later.
Shut up. Why? He can add that later. We can do it. That's what we can do.
He needs a lot of help, man. I'm just here to...
No, seriously though, man. My point was like, so now you're in your cigar club. Do they drink in those?
Sure.
Okay, so it's a bar where you're allowed to smoke cigars.
Yeah, but it's more like a cigar place that serves...
Do non-smokers go in there? And like...
No.
Okay, how do they know this? How do you know this? You know what I mean?
Well, the back room where you...
No?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Well, how the hell do they know?
I mean, they just don't come in. They don't smoke, so they don't come in.
Like, what would happen? I wonder what would happen if, like, a, you know, tobacco activist walked into a cigar shop and, like, they probably do it on purpose. You know? Kind of like those people that throw red paint on furs.
I've never seen it.
How about this?
Call the cigar shop and ask them.
I will. How about this?
I'm going to draw a comparison between two boycotts. You ready?
I don't know.
You're ready.
Bring it on.
Tells you your butane
level. Yeah.
I see it now.
So that little shot we gave it, that's where it got.
Okay.
That's where it went.
You can shut up now. Shut the fuck. Now I lost
Keep
track.
going.
Where was I at? I was going good, man. You gotta help me. You gotta help me, man. Don't fight me. Don't fight me on this. Okay, so.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, wait. So, oh yes. So you're in the cigar bar. You're in a bar.
Oh yeah.
And there's this mystery that's around cigar bars now. That how did the non-smoker activists know not to go in there? Because I don't know. I didn't know. I don't smoke. If I went in, it wouldn't bother me because I'm not an activist. But you know what I mean?
You're not gonna have a lot of impact.
You hear that, Rain?
Yeah, rolling into a cigar bar, there'll be like two dudes in the back having a smoke. So I don't think you're not going to be doing a lot of influencing.
Why does it got to be two dudes?
Influencing doesn't have to be.
No, is smoking cigars in these bars and these clubs is that like a gay thing? No, because I need to know this, Brad. We're friends.
No,
it's not a gay thing, right?
No.
because you just went straight to two dudes in the back smoking a cigar. And that sounds terrible, don't it?
Could be women back there.
Doesn't that sound bad?
It's just traditionally mostly guys back there.
Okay, so we've come to the fact that you're in a cigar bar. It's typically men. It's probably like a golf clubhouse. But now, man, they got some really. You watch Instagram, some of those Instagram golfer girls with the short golf skirts. I never watched. It's not porn, Brad, so you can admit it. Yeah, he's done the little Instagram heart on one of those cute golf girls where her butt sticks out underneath her skirt. But my point is, let's go back to your society. You have a society.
My society.
Well, Brad, listen. You just taught us how to do this and smoke a cigar, and you're successfully smoking the cigar. You haven't coughed once. You've known that cigar is basic quality and not going to choke me out. It's not terrible in here. You've been to the cigar clubs and the bar atmosphere, and you know about it, right? Okay, wait. What else is there to accomplish in the cigar world? Right? I mean, you're a member of a club that I didn't even know existed until right now. I'm serious, guys. You're a member of a club.
I'm not trying to climb the cigar social world or anything.
But
I didn't know there was a ladder, actually.
A what?
I didn't know there was a ladder in the cigar world.
A ladder. Mm-hmm. A ladder of your commitment to the cult that you're a member of. Right?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I bet you we can draw from the definition of a cult exactly what you do when you smoke cigars. But that's okay.
That's not cultish.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so my point is, you're in the cigar club. You got your ascot on, right? You wear that? I mean, so you got your ascot on.
I don't even know what an ascot is.
You trim your mustache down to this little ascot's that silk thing that goes in their little smoking jacket.
So you know a little bit more about that than I do.
I gotta watch out for you guys. You guys scare me, man. You know what I mean? You guys got a secret club that I'm not a member of.
There's no secret handshake, man.
That's why I know more about your own clubs, because I'm like, fuck, this is Illuminati shit, man. You know that, right? Listen, this is straight up Illuminati shit. You gotta agree with it, because I must not be royalty. Because you know what I mean? Because maybe it's like royal blood that knows you smoke a cigar and it takes you into this world. You know what I mean? And you've got this appreciation for all this process. That's a big thing, man.
It's kind of like wine drinking, I guess. Popping the cork, cutting a cigar.
No, I disagree.
All right, you're wrong, but keep going.
I disagree. Because wine, don't do that right before you go and put it in your lungs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, homie?
Oh, man.
You know? See, I should let me light you up. But that's the thing, man, is like, wine's just, you step on some grapes, man, and you're, put it in a barrel, and they add other stuff. And there's a serious process. And I've had good wine and bad wine, so I'm not going to be that guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I am going to say, wine and cigars, they go together, but they're not even close. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, process-wise.
Have you seen the wine
fidgety?
Have you seen the wine community though? I got hung up on YouTube. I'm going to say probably when I first started watching YouTube, one of my biggest things I really liked watching, believe it or not, was sommeliers. Because have you watched the sommeliers on YouTube? Mm-hmm. The inner network and world of the wine. It's freaking fascinating. And I am not lying. You think I'm messing with you?
No.
And this is why it's fascinating. You know what I'm going to say?
No, I never know what you're going to say.
But you know what I'm going to say. Because there was an era when California got into the game. And you've got to have heard they somehow there's a documentary. It's great. It's great. It's so stupid too because it's wine, but it's like it was a mental psyche thing. But this dude knew California wine or something was that good, and he somehow like finagled a way into a live taste testing with the top sommeliers of the world and introduced California wine to them. There's names for it. It is super, super, super good. And I ain't lying, dude. Because so it was all on the up and up too. I mean, it's not like there was any kind of craziness around it that way. The craziness was like it was like Oscar Mayer saying, "Hey, we want to put our bologna up next to your fucking Italian salami." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what you would have thought it was going to be like. It won. The California wine beat with the. Listen, this is all tested, laboratory tested. They make sure the grape is of certain biology, you know, of the bloodline from the grapes from.
Were they transparent about who they were when they went into the test?
Everybody knows who they were. You know what I mean? They were famous.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing too is we have sommeliers that are famous, super famous. You know what I mean? Obviously, we have chefs, Gordon Ramsay and those guys. Mm-hmm. But we have sommeliers that are like, you and I can't name one sommelier. You know what I mean? But I can name Gordon Ramsay. I can name, you know, Brett Fly. Bobby Flay. Mm-hmm. Bobby Flay. Brett Fry. Where's that? Sommeliers. Yeah. Everybody thinks that they're these, well, they are. These really snobby, super ultra elitist, rich, whatever you want to call them, mm-hmm. pampered people that taste wine. That's it. And they know everything about it. And some of them, I mean, a lot of them, they're pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. They'll literally have a bottle of wine, and they'll have the list, maybe 8 lists of ingredients in the wine. And this son of a bitch will go, and they do all that stuff, and they'll go, I'm going to drink this. They don't drink it. They spit it into a snifter. What do they spit it in? Have you ever seen that?
Spittoon?
No, it's not spittoon.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
It's called something. And they spit it out. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so they do that. Mm-hmm. They don't fucking drink it. So now, you got these sommeliers.
They don't want to numb their senses for the next taste.
Exactly. There you go. Their palate stuff. Now, the big thing, though, is of course, Europe owned wine. They were, you know, wine's a business. Everything's a business, guys. Everything, right? Name one thing on this table that's not business. Name it.
I can't.
There's nothing that's not business. There it is. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2. What was I talking about? Lesson number 2, I was talking about business.
Sommeliers.
What?
Sommeliers, business.
Oh, wine. So wine, if you haven't noticed right now, there's a certain Dylan Mulvaney who has cost Bud Light. He hasn't. That lady, that VP, that white liberal lady. I don't like her because she called us all fratty because I drank Bud Light. I don't even know what fratty means. I wasn't in a frat. Were you in a frat?
No.
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
I went to college. Fratty. I don't even know how that's even. I mean, it's not an insult because I got buddies. Do you have buddies that were in frats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's an insult now for them that they think is an insult on us. I don't want to get into that. But my point is, though, what was my point now? God darn it. Keep losing track. Mad at her. I'm mad at her, not Dylan Mulvaney.
She's the one that lit the fuse on all that.
Yeah, but we're going somewhere good with that.
Oh, man. I was sparking on a point, scrambled, so I'm going to go off track. You know what I mean? I was talking about that documentary, which, dude, is so good. It, like, legitimately awesome. Because they tell the story so well. Because, I don't know, it's almost like there's nothing to hide. They could hide. Because everything was pretty much documented.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a documented event. Video documented, which is great. So they were documenting the process of these sommeliers being herded. Like these sommeliers, there's like only 4. Kind of herded from their parts of the countries they're from, like Austria, London, wherever. Mm-hmm. And they managed to get the 4 best wine tasters in the world. How hard would that be to get the 4 best basketball players in the world?
Who decided these guys were the 4
Jordan
best?
Bird, those guys, all in a room at one time. Like that for a wine tasting, but for them to say, who's the GOAT? Right there in front of everybody. That's what it was. Dude, I just drew. Seriously, man. This guy, and if you look at the timeline, I think in months' time, if not weeks, and he's like a journalist. He's like a critic, journalist guy. Great. It's a great story. But he rounds up the 4 top most famous sommeliers in the world from different countries. Maybe a couple in the same, whatever, but different countries. I think one was an American.
To do what?
In 2 weeks to do a blind taste testing. Okay.
And
So
pick the best wine in the world?
just to pick their favorite out of 4 or 5 or 7, whatever it was. There was a lot, maybe. 7 is a number that's ticking in my head right now, off the cuff. But okay, so here's don't let me lose this, because here's the thing. Yeah, seriously. So first off, have fun getting Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and who cares? It's important though. I got to get it to you. This is, and Dominique Wilkins. I loved Dominique Wilkins in the slam dunk contest.
About Magic
Okay,
or Kobe.
Magic's become obscure. That's weird, man. He's had AIDS the longest in the whole world.
He's a
I don't.
great
How's that
basketball
happen?
player.
Yeah, but how those people were dying and this guy's still alive? And that was in the 70s, 80s. Something's up. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Magic was awesome. He was incredible. But come on now.
And Shaq.
Oh, I love
Did we
Shaq.
say Kobe?
Kobe, I love Kobe because I think Kobe was done wrong. That's some Tupac shit right there, Kobe. Do you know that?
No.
They're drawing conclusions
Of conspiracy.
that
Get out of
Kobe
here.
was. Yeah, no, I'm serious.
He was involved. Are you serious?
No, that he was on to something. He was doing something good, not bad. Kobe was good. And they killed him and his daughter. That's, Google it. I'll put what I can find right here.
Conspiracy theory stuff.
It's definitely because, dude, when CIA kills you, nobody knows. Vegas, you know that CIA shit all day long. You know it. Dude, it's red herring, CIA shit. CIA runs the world.
But you're not saying they whacked Kobe.
I don't know if CIA did. Jeez, I don't even know if I should be talking about this right now. I gotta get one of those Faraday cages.
You're gonna have to
My
hire an
studio,
attorney.
my studio needs to be a Faraday cage. If you don't know what a Faraday cage is, it's the total disconnection of between with a. I'm not gonna be able to do this, so I'll put the definition right above me. But it's like you disconnect your whole existence from contact with anything electronically or electrically, right?
Contains electromagnetic radiation.
That circulates in this cage that you're in. So of course you have to be grounded so that you don't get electrocuted. So they have this square, this cube that you can be in, and you can have a conversation with somebody. As long as then it needs to be sound insulated. So there's another thing. But you can literally, nobody can hear what you're saying electronically.
No transmissions leave the room.
What it is it creates a field that stops all frequencies. So there's no frequencies. There's no microwave. There's no electronic. There's no radio wave. There's no nothing. There's no frequencies that can leave the cage because you're like a sphere. You actually define gravity in a Faraday cage, and I'm talking gravity of frequency, gravity of connection. You know what I mean? And it's a completely secret room where a guy like Joe Biden can go in there with a guy like President Xi, and he can just say, "Hey, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Where's my check?" Because you know, Yeah, and he could say that to Chi, and they turn the windows opaque electronically, so they can't read his lips or anything. And that President Xi will look at him and say, well, "Fuck you, motherfucker," and nobody even know. You know what I mean? Because it all happened in this weird CIA room. There's probably plasma and shit going on too, and lasers.
Aliens?
Yeah, we really got off topic. We were on cigars, and now we're doing aliens and shit. Okay.
Aliens probably smoke cigars too.
I doubt it. Okay, let's talk aliens for a second. Just a sec. All right. First off, if there's aliens, they're so much smarter than us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm smart enough to know smoking's bad for you. So what does an alien think? You know what I mean? If this dumbass fat American human being knows that that's not good for you, catching something on fire and breathing the smoke directly into your body from God knows what is not good for you. Trust me, an alien is definitely going to be like,
They might have figured
not
it out.
smoking cigars.
Yeah.
They're not drinking beer.
But we haven't evolved there yet, so we still do this stuff.
Definitely. We definitely have not evolved. Ooh. Dude, my butt. I wish hemorrhoids on no butt. I'm going to try one of these Yenling. You want another beer?
I'm good.
Okay. See that, kids?
Peer pressure. Peer pressure is not good. Right? It can be bad. So, like, a lot of times, peer pressure, for example, if you don't know, is if when he said he didn't want to do another beer because he's trying to be responsible, he's got to drive home. I didn't pressure him. I just said okay. That's it. I just said okay. I said nothing else. I didn't grimace. I didn't go okay. I didn't do any of that. I just said okay. And I think Brad, didn't you feel it was sincere?
I felt it was pretty sincere.
It was. Yeah. But if you don't do the shot, I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face. How about that?
Don't make me hurt you.
Oh, now he's talking tough.
Cheers.
Hey, now, what's a culture where you do that and then you hit the table? Is that Russian?
My buddy Harry in West Texas, that was Prost.
Prost.
Prost, tap, drink.
He's Hungarian? Don't drink.
German.
Okay, how about this? Brad probably knows more about drinking lore than I do. In knife lore, there's that too, guys. There's lore. Look that freaking shit up. Lore? Do you know what lore is?
I'm waiting.
It's deep shit. Okay, so my point is why can we not have... I'm going to set this down, and this was the question. So, you know what I mean? I didn't want to set it down, because this is where I'm going with this shit. Okay, so this is a folding utility knife. Folding knife. So there's a lore, there's a rule, there's a code. Never hand a man an open knife, right? Do you know this lore?
Yeah.
Do you know the full in-depth part of the lore?
So you don't cut yourself?
That's safety first. That's weak. That's all you got?
You started it.
Dude, no, seriously, you kidding?
I don't know.
You don't know why?
Tell me more.
I don't know. You're supposed to be the wise.
You had an answer.
God damn it. I don't have an answer. I mean, I will because I edit this and it's going to be right there. But my whole point was I was praying because I have faith in Brad. I have a lot of faith in Brad. He's a dependable, trustworthy guy. He's smart. He's got class. You're a hell of a guy, Brad. But my point is, I thought when I handed him this knife, you'd go, oh no, Rich.
You no-hand knife. No, he's not going to do the samurai voice.
No, he's going to say, you don't hand me a knife open, Rich, because there's a story there. And there it is, and we don't know it. How about that?
I thought you had the story. I thought you were going to tell us.
I can probably edit something in, but I'm not gonna, because we're dumbasses. And I don't want to fake not being a dumbass right now, because there's a lore that you are not to hand a person an open knife. Yeah, safety, we get that.
Like a loaded gun.
It's not about that, Brad. It's like a legendary thing. And here's the thing, too, is there's also like lore there where if I hand you an open knife and you do take it and you can take it, never close another man's knife. There's these things. There's that thing. So I was thinking, I forgot what I was thinking, but it was about that.
About the lore.
Yeah, the lore of the knife. Oh, shots. So I wonder if after you raise and you clack the shot, is it like shutting the knife and handing it to somebody if you would set that shot back down and not do the shot? Is that a thing? Seems like a tradition.
You have the choice to not take the shot if you don't want to.
I'm not talking about that. I'm gonna drink this shot. Drinking this shot. My thing is say I want to set it down because I'm not ready to do the shot right now, and I was hitting on this girl when you came over because you're trying to screw this up for me, because we're young now. You know what I mean? Hey, come on, man, let's do a shot, man, because we're best buddies. And I'm sitting here trying to talk to Judy, and and things are going good, and I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. I don't want to seem like a total prick, and then I sat down for a minute because I'm like, she's about to give me her number, right? Is that bad?
She wasn't going to give you her number.
That doesn't hurt my feelings. Brad,
First,
I'm going deep, and you're not even picking up on what I'm setting down because I think there's something there, and we should find out because this is an educational program. Because I pose these questions with life that we all go through every day. Name me 10 Americans that hasn't done a shot. And when they do it, they get it, they cheers, they do whatever. I never purposefully see anybody set that back down. Unless they just don't want to do it or they're distracted. But other than that, I think there's a tradition that says, hey, if you're cognizant and there's nobody else there to talk to and you're doing this, it is etiquette to do the shot without setting the glass down. Don't you think that should be a thing?
I agree. That's probably the case, yeah.
Okay, so if we were prepared, we can be prepared because we own time right now. Because right now, you don't know this shit's going on. We can look this up.
Find out that there is no tradition in the books. And we just found a tradition.
I'll be curious to see what we find.
And you know how you make that tradition happen? First off, you gotta have a lot of subscribers and followers. And you videotape yourself going into every bar you could possibly go into for 1 year straight. Every bar. And all you do is walk in and you find the drunk and you go over and you buy him a shot. Right? Or anybody. But you gotta keep it cheap. So just one shot and you say, hey, bartender, the bottom shit, right? So you go into every single bar you possibly can, a whole year straight, right? And you just do it. You got a partner because you got to drive you because you're going to be drunk as shit, right? And you go into every bar and you buy that bum a shot. He's not, maybe not even a bum. He's just, down on his luck.
Just a dude.
Yeah, just a dude. You should buy him a shot. Hey, friend! And I'm buying you a shot, right? We're going to do a shot. Whoa!
Prost.
Whoa! This is how we're spreading this tradition. In 1 year's time, I'm going to do this in 1 million bars, right? And every drunk in every bar then is going to say, I met some guy. He said, don't set the shot glass on the table or bad luck's gonna happen. It's a tradition from Scotland. So don't let it touch. Don't let it touch. That's what the drunk's gonna do. And now you were sitting there with that drunk because he's from your hometown. You didn't know that I came to your town to spread this tradition, right? So I'm gone. Now you're drinking with Freddy, who I bought a shot just the day before. You're doing a shot with Freddy, and you're like, well, Freddy, where'd you hear this? I don't know, but it's in the Bible. You know what I mean? So now he's like, you're like telling all your friends because we do shots. Guys do shots. You go, hey, you're over at my house. You're over at my clubhouse. And we're sitting there and we're like, look, you're dying to do this shot. Look at you. Your hand's shaking. But that's the thing. We do shots. So now you got 10 buddies over. There's just 2 of us now. Maybe you got 1 buddy over, and you're getting ready to do a shot. And then, oh, gotta watch, man. That's bad juju. That's just straight from Louisiana. My uncle Tommy was down there. He did that. He was eaten by an alligator the day before, or after. Sorry. Not the day before, because that's some crazy quantum leap shit. But my point, though, is my Uncle Tom set the shot down, and he was ate by an alligator. Because now it's lore.
Lesson learned.
It's lore. You know what I mean? That's all it was. And all it was some guy that's like, I'm going to fuck with everybody in this whole world, 1 bar at a time, and they're all not going to set their shot glasses down, and then they're going to correlate all their bad luck to the fact that they set their shot glass down. You know what I mean?
It's going to be another pandemic.
There we go. Nostrava. Is that? It sounds Russian, and it sounds like what Nostrava. Sounds like I heard that from a John Wick. You son of a bitch.
Tap.
Oh, look, I said no. You let go. That's the thing. You tap for the tradition. You let go for your bad juju. If you let go, I let go. I ain't drinking that shit. You gotta drink it. No. That's the tradition. If that happens, and the dude you're supposed to do the shot with drops, sets down the glass, and lets go, the dude who's doing the shot has to drink the shot.
No.
Yeah.
He just suffers.
If
he just suffers his own consequences, and if he gets eaten by an alligator.
No. That was my cousin Tom. What I'm talking about now is, hey, if you want to walk away from that voodoo, that bad juju, go ahead, man. But that's what happens. Because now you're not even thinking about it, and I just made this shit up from scratch. And you're sitting there going,
walking away from it.
He might be right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We were at on the cigars that there may be a secret cigar society that you have codes and shit. See, there's also the Masonics. They got codes.
Maybe we should ask the folks.
Are you a Mason?
What they know about it.
Are you a Mason?
No.
Okay. They got depth. Scary depth.
Give us some comments if you know more than we know.
Do you like the action on this?
That's a good one.
Really? With the plastic and shit?
Yeah, it still cuts.
It's not that wonky. Okay. Well, that's good then, because I didn't think this was going to pan out well. I mean, we didn't look at the lighter. This is the promise. And that was the cutters that come with that. Okay, go for it. Because to me, that's just, it's a cool torch lighter, and that's it. Are we going to put, you want to put butane in all of them? And do the wind,
let's flame it up and see what it does.
We never did the, we're just going to do high wind and low wind. And that'll be it.
Another hole cutter. To your previous point, this is
smaller?
3/16 maybe.
Why am I putting this stuff away then? Because we need to draw a comparison. Now, this is that Tom Cruise movie, Vanilla Sky. No, not Vanilla Sky. The one with him and Nicole Kidman. It was really freaky and weird. And he didn't know the passcode into the sex party.
Not a Tom Cruise fan. I don't know.
That was a funky movie, though. I need to watch that movie if you just want to, kind of really feel weird. A triple flame. Is that cool?
Nice. I like it.
Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a waste of fuel?
Who cares?
What?
Who cares?
Well,
it does the job.
A can of butane, $7. You can get a lot of fills off of it too, I think. I have butane. Will you grab? Can you reach that orange thing? Orange tip thing?
This?
Yeah. So I don't smoke cigars, but yes, I have a torch, a mini torch. Fills up the same way on the bottom of this that I have in my shop. I have a couple other cool torches. Find that video. I did a Tractor Supply haul. That was good. Yeah, so I got a torch. I use that to light my candles so it smells decent in here. Because it's a wood shop. And this happens this way. That smells good. Kinda. Ooh, it's right up in my nostrils really hard. This was cool because you pull back. Man, that's like a jet engine. This one almost feels like it might not want to light right away. And you got to do a double click because you got to release the lid. Oh, no, you don't. You can do a single click.
Yeah,
see? But I got to tell you, this looks like a F-16. It sounds like an F-16. Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a mini jet.
So we like that. I like
both keepers.
I
like them both.
I like this. So I'll get close up. I'm going to put it in the box, and then you're going to see close-ups because this is kind of Zippo-ish. Old school. And this is really jet engine. Because I think this would be like a secret status code in the cigar world. Yeah. This one
size matters
inside this. No, I think maybe the small would be a form of refinery. It's good to have those kind of meanings that mean something, but it's the opposite of what you thought it was going to mean. This is movie shit. I'm throwing movie shit at you. Xifi. All right. Next, We're going to look at the Ronx RONXS torch lighter. What do you think of this bad boy?
Very beefy.
Do you like the fact that it's beefy? Because you got to carry that in your pocket, in your wallet. Should that be a thing? Other than like, look at him, he's got a girthy cigar cutter.
I wouldn't want to carry it
Would you want to say girthy?
all the time, but it's sturdy.
Would you say girthy?
It's girthy.
Girthy?
It's a double guillotine once again. I like it.
Yeah, but does it wobble?
No, it's tight. It's tight. One of the things that I do have particular issue with on the double guillotines, it's nice when the blades come together at the same time. This one doesn't do that. One goes all the way out first. I'd rather have them both.
So yeah, good.
Yeah.
I could see how that would be a issue because, yeah.
Did this one do that?
Is it spring loaded?
They both kind of do the same.
See what he's talking about? You can go full on in with this one and then meet it there, or they can, or if there was some kind of, I bet you the good ones, which I don't probably have, like, you know, these are real affordable. Wait till you see the prices on all these. I'll put them over my head. But if you held this, you could time it yourself, and it's still hard to do. But I bet you the best ones have like a mechanical gearing in there that only allows you to move these slides at the same time.
You know what I mean? That would be some German engineering shit, and it'd probably be easy. 4 gears, you know what I mean, with some kind of pinion thing going here that only allows these to work together. I'm not going to post this video until, I'm going to say 6 months. Brad and I are probably going to be wealthy because we have figured out that there's not a cigar cutter. This is history. This is like a time capsule thing. So there's not a cigar cutter that actually actuates the blades with your hand to where they move at the same exact, let's say, solar, right? Like a solar eclipse, because it almost doesn't look like a solar eclipse. Like solar gearing. I'm naming the gearing already, dude. So this would have like 4 gears, and this would ensure that if you had centered your cigar, or your cigar is that thick, because that's got to be pretty thick, pretty girthy, right? If your cigar is in there, and you're getting way too much cut here, and that cigar was worth like, what's an expensive cigar? Like for a commoner?
Cohiba.
What's it cost?
High teens, 20 plus.
Really? So you're smoking a good guitar, I was going to say, cigar.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you made a good point just now. I didn't think about this at the time, but when you put the cigar in there and start to cut, it's kind of going to self-regulate, and the blades will come together.
So there's that.
It may not be
as big of a thing.
Yeah.
See, he's smart. He's real smart. But how about this? Say you do that, but most of the pressure is happening from one blade or the other more than the next, dulling that blade sooner than if you were using both of them at the same time. So now you're risking the chance of clipping a $20 cigar and having a dull blade and it not cutting but yet pinching. Yeah, I'm spitting some shit.
No, it won't happen.
You're not telling me that there's not cigar snobs in a room talking about the timing of that. If
but
there's not
cigar smokers out there, chime in, send us some comments.
Yeah, because I think that should be a conversation in the speakeasy. One of these days when I'm doing these videos, I'm gonna have a budget, and I don't even need a budget for this because I want one anyways. Because when we grew up way after the speakeasy stuff, don't get me wrong, but there was a period in our age where there was gin bars, and they were early too, way early, right? Gin bars started way early.
Way before. Yeah.
But gin bars was about maybe the only kind of bar that really stuck, that was as close to a speakeasy, jazzy, comfortable, candlelit, the oval seating, you know what I'm talking about, with the high backs?
Like pre-World War II stuff.
Yeah, but it existed way up into our time.
Yeah.
Because they're rare. So they're super nostalgic, and I'm just talking about the booth you sit in. You know, it has like a round table, and the booth you're sitting in, you have all this privacy. But yet you can look out the side of the booth and you can see the jazz band playing or something. People. But you got all the booths along the wall. And if you happen to score a booth, you're pretty lucky. Otherwise, you're sitting at a table or the bar or standing. And these booths are, you could sit there all night drinking anything, but like say drinking a gin and tonic with a lime, listening to some guy that's really great at jazz and playing some shit, playing his heart out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not a feel? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if we had that. All I need is that booth.
And you don't see that today very often.
No, and I want the booth. If I do a big podcast, like Joe Rogan someday, get lucky.
Hey, Joe, give him a call.
Listen to Brad. No, seriously. I'm gonna do the podcast in one of those booths. And it's gonna have like the neons behind it and some classic pictures maybe. It would not make any sense for me at all to be in that setting whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like say the table's this like white marble and the booth's this black leather and there's this cheesy glass chandelier. I mean, I got it all figured out. We got the speakers right over here. Big table though, like you see the one from the good one, Goodfellas. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All those movies. I'm not Italian either, but I just something about, because they were kind of cozy too. They would have the real cushiony. I mean, you can still find them, but they were real cushiony, and the oyster-looking backing, oyster shell. You just kind of, it set you back just a little. Not so much to where you're like, oh, you know what I mean? You're like this, and you're like, yeah, and you got your gin and tonic, and you got shit going on, man. You're smoking cigars. You guys, if it's you and your dude, you're talking about, some of the girls that are in there, or this or that. Then if you're in there with your old lady, you know what I mean? Or even if you're in there with your wife and you're there with your wife, maybe it's real big. So there's like 3 couples. And you're all just listening to some good music, maybe smoking cigars, because that would probably be a problem. But drinking a gin and tonic, listening, I know you like jazz. Or is it blues? Blues. I like jazz. And I couldn't name one real jazz thing.
A shout out to my blues man, Mr. John Primer, while we're at it.
Who?
John Primer.
All right, well, maybe we'll have to talk about him some other time. Because we ain't talking about him right now, because we're talking about the rocks. Yeah, I'm a vintage retro dude.
And I loved what history I can remember of my time, what I witnessed. We gotta put some stuff in this. I'll do it. You want to do it? You've been doing it. You've been the dude. If I smoke cigars, I'm not carrying plastic cigars. I wouldn't carry these. These would be in like your bag, your saddlebags in your bike. Maybe hanging off your backpack. You're not putting these in your slacks, dude, and going to St. Elmo's, right?
No.
Okay. I'm glad I clarified that, because he wasn't going to touch on that, and he should have. It's a penis size thing. You fill it up?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think?
I like it. I like the feel in the hand.
It's cool looking. I like the logoing on the outside. It's when you flip that down.
And the cap flips the right way. It's a triple burner once again. The fan's kind of...
I think the fan affects that one more than it affected this other one.
The mirror in the cap so you can check your look.
Oh, check your look. Hear that, guys? Check your look. You gotta check your look. I gotta use that somewhere outside of like a sight glass for a lighter. Hey, motherfucker, you better check your look. You know what I mean? I just use it. You check your look is the new F word. It's the new, you know what I mean? Like, you know how you can use shit or fuck, and you can use it for everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Some dudes.
And what would you just say? What would you just say on this? Check your
look.
You gotta check your look. Well, you better check your look. That's something a black mother says to a black son that just popped off, and it's in a grocery store, and the whole store's scared because she goes, "Boy, you better check your look." Yeah, and the whole grocery store goes, and then even the white ladies go, somebody's getting their ass beat tonight. You know what I mean? There's, it's they know it. You better check your look. Yeah, I've never said that because you get people that mean mug you and they're looking at you like they're tough. They want to fight. You better check your look, boy. Yeah, that's not good. Like redneck good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got streets. I can do streets. You best check your look. Yeah, because I changed it a little. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
I said you best. Because that's what they would say. Because it would be cooler than, you better check your look. Yeah, there's a good one. This is at like computer club at the end of the day. And your name's Benny and my name's Seymour. And Benny, you just screwed up my whole programming process over here on my Commodore 64. I remember those things? Yeah. Kids. You Google Commodore 64. Yeah. See, I'm over here programming because I'm 2 program sentences away from doing about a 5-second section of Space Invaders. If I get this program written, I'm playing Space Invaders for 5 seconds on my Commodore 64.
Wasn't it more like Pong?
Could be. Yeah. That was Telestar.
Back in those days.
That was Telestar. I had Pong when I was a kid. My dad had Pong money. Dude, I'm serious. I ain't messing around. He had Pong money then. And that was 1970 something. We lived in a duplex.
It was highbrow.
Duplex, Florida. Coral Springs, St. Petersburg. One of those two. St. Petersburg maybe. But we lived in it. Ooh, good stories if we had time. But we lived in a trailer park. My dad graduated from WVU. My mom didn't graduate because they had me. She was a year behind my dad. They had me in Morgantown and then went down to Florida, right? They lived in a trailer park because that's what you did. It was cheap. It was an affordable way to live. Mm-hmm. And nobody was making any money even out of college then because that was in the 60s. That was in the early 70s. My dad's got some good stories about his time in his life in that era. Like really cool stories. Like actually at one point say this was 1974, he was the youngest sales manager in the history of Xerox. The youngest sales manager in the history of Xerox in 74.
Impressive.
That is. That's like being the youngest national manager of Google. Don't you think? I mean, at the time, Xerox was, oh my God, you can take one piece of paper and you can do 1,000 copies in 12 hours. You know what I mean? But seriously, dude, that was big doings. All right. So to get that job, did I tell you the story?
I don't think I've heard the whole thing.
To get the job at Xerox, my dad was working at, I'm going to screw this up, so whatever. But it's going to be as close to the truth that I can possibly recall from him telling me and from living it. And at this time, I didn't know what was happening, of course. It was in, 3. So, but my dad was working for Firestone. And he had a degree from WVU. And at the time, I think the degree was like bookkeeping. You know what I mean? Because 1970, I mean, we didn't have liberal arts flaring up like it is these days. We didn't have whatever. So I'm not going there. But my point is that, so he's working at Firestone and he's keeping their books like an accountant because that's kind of what he was doing, right? And he was doing the books. Wasn't getting paid jack crap, right? My mom's home with me because I'm like 1 or 2, 3, 4, whatever, going up in those ages. And he's working there and he needs to make more money. So he rolls up sleeves and says, he's watching him. Back in the day, changing tires was an art. You know what I mean? There's a lot of involvement in taking a high pressurized tire off of a rim and putting a new one back on and doing this without damaging the rim or the tire because you're talking tons of torque, people get hurt with these tire machines, right? And then the stuff's heavy and it's big and it's just hard to handle, right? So he's watching out there, and he's like, and he's seeing that the sales manager, the salesman, right? Because they have salesmen back then doing tires, just like cars, right? And he sees, man, those salesmen, it looks like they're making good, decent money. So he was like, hey, I want to keep doing the books, but I also want time on the floor. God gave him time on the floor. So he's doing all right. You know, he's a handsome young man and all this, and he's educated, and he's already been there doing books for a while, so he kind of knows the ins and outs and this and that. And he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's business ready. You know, and he's from West Virginia, Ohio Valley, Steel Valley. He learned a work ethic. You know what I mean? He knew what did it, right? So he's doing sales, and he's doing the books, and he's noticing these guys they don't have the spark. He goes, I feel there's a spark. I got an idea. This ain't I'm not dramatizing this. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not lying. And he goes, so of course, you know, every sales guy, they got gimmicks, right? You got the guy on the street today that's flipping the arrow, and his gimmick is he can spin it on his head, and then he can take it off his finger and put it on his toe. That's his gimmick, right? Well, back then, my dad's gimmick was learn how to change the tires, learn how to do it fast, and be better at it than the guys changing the tires, and then be better at sales than the salesman. I'm losing my voice on this story. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But this is where I learned from my dad. My dad never handed me a pocket knife. Never handed me a hammer. Never handed me anything. But he handed me this. And this is what it was that he went from just doing books to then working sales. To then doing sales and saying, hey, I'm not only better than these sales guys because I'm doing sales and I'm doing the books, but now he'd say, like, learn how to change tires. He got to where he's better at changing tires than the guys changing tires. And then he would talk to the people and he would say, listen, here's the deal. If you buy the tires, and I'm kind of paraphrasing this, but he would say, hey, if you buy the tires, I'm going to waive because back in the day, they would charge you to take their tires off, charge you to get rid of your own tires, and then they would charge you to put the new tires and rims that they just sold you on your car. And they would charge you. And they may still do that in their own weird way. Mm-hmm. But back then, they actually itemized the charge, right? So my dad said, and he obviously had a discussion with the manager, hey, this is what I'm going to try to do, because I think I can sell more tires and I'm going to offer a discount. You don't pay me. You can get rid of Charlie over there. I know my dad did this because my dad's fierce. I don't get along with him, and I don't talk to him much or at all. But he's fierce. And I know he said, hey, man, because you know he's doing the books. He's a sales guy. He's talking to the manager. They get alone time. They get this time. You know, they're doing shots. I'm going to pour another shot. I don't give a shit. All right, so they're sitting here like this in this room, right? And my dad's pouring a shot for Brad. You're the manager of Firestone. That's a big deal. Back in the day, it was a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. Firestone was the shit. Probably still are. I don't know. But so now I'm Howdy, my dad, and I'm pouring this bottle of beautiful bourbon, and I'm saying, Brad, how's your P&L looking this month? And you're going to be like, you know, same as last. Mm-hmm. So Brad, what's the overtime looking like? What's your percentage of overtime? Are you at 18%? Are you at 12%? And Brad's going to go, I'm talking for Brad because he don't fuck this up if he did. Yeah, just stand there. Right now, I'm going to blur him out even too because, but no, seriously. So Brad's going to say, you know, it's high. My overtime's high. I go, so how'd he go? So Brad, if you were able to drop your overtime by half, if I change the tires for free. Will you be okay with that? That's how this shit would happen.
Good move.
You know what I mean? So now he goes, seriously, he goes, so this is between you and me, Brad, because we don't want this to get out because it's going to piss off the whole crew and we're going to have issues. So we're going to have to play this off as though Firestone's having trouble this month. We're on a budget. We got to lay Charles off. Charles, you're going to be laid off this month. Because what it really is they're going to lay him off. They're going to approve his unemployment. He's going to actually be kind of chilled, maybe even informed on this whole process. Yeah, the world goes that deep and dark, even here in small town USA. But the point is now you got Charles. He's in the backdrop. He knows, oh, they're just doing a test. I'll be back next month. And the test is, poor Charles. You know what I mean? So the test is Howdy's going to come in. He's going to sell tires, and he's going to go up to you. Now you're Felix, and you're here with your wife, Gloria. And you come in, and Howdy goes, hey, yeah, you said Michelin's got the same price. Okay. What's Michelin going to charge you to put the tires on the car? Oh. What's Michelin going to charge you to get rid of the tires? Oh. Okay, so our prices are right there. Maybe ours is a little bit higher. But when you look at the bottom line, Firestone, our tires, no labor. And they're like, whatever. You guys aren't doing labor now? And say that amount was like only back then, we're talking 70s. So that amount was like $60. Whew, that was a lot of money back then. But say it's $60, right? So Howdy just went and said, because he had a negotiation with Brad in the office that if his sales go up, his commission goes up. It balloons. You know what I mean? So now, my dad got it down to where he could change the tires and get them all off and everything, boom, 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 in less than like 20 minutes, maybe 15, whatever. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the quickest. He was the youngest sales manager at Xerox, but he wasn't the quickest tire changer, but he was quick. So all he had to do was he was doing like, you know what I mean? He was doing his own side hustle in the hustle because he was saying, hey, you don't have to pay the labor. So Michelin's here with the labor. They're $450 for all new tires and rims and all that, and we're at $410. Because you know why? You're saving $40, and you don't have to get back in your car and drive over there. You know what? And I'm going to change your tires, Felix. Seriously, that's what he'd say. Mm-hmm. He's very entrepreneurial. Now he's standing there in a white shirt with a tie and slacks because that's how they dressed. Back in the day, they had style. You know what I mean? White shirt, maybe a black tie, maybe black slacks. Who the hell knows? But it was something like that, right? Mm-hmm. He'd roll up his sleeves and change those damn tires. And he was the only sales guy in the whole tire world that probably ever thought to do that until Howdy Armstrong did. He didn't start that shit, but he picked up on it early.
But he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah. You know who he did it for? He did it for a manager at Xerox. The guy was blown away. Because that's what happens, guys. You do great things. You do big things. You go out of your way, and you just keep doing it because you should be doing it. But you just might come across that one guy that puts you on a path because he was like, holy shit, did you see that guy tie his shoes? You know what I mean? Did you see how quick he did the double loop and double knotted those sons of bitches? And you know what? He didn't know that he was waiting at that table when that guy was the CEO for Nike. You know what I mean? And now they got footage of the fastest shoelacer in the history of shoes. And Nike right there picked him up, scooped him up. Yeah, that didn't become a thing, lacing your shoes fast and tight. It didn't become a thing, but what they had was somebody who had it. He had the spark. Because they saw that. And they were like, hey, like 3 months later, said, hey, Roger, the fastest shoelace thing, it's not working, man. It is not going to beat NFL. We thought the competition was going to be good. We had it at the park downtown, and then we had it on TV. It was local. And it just
didn't captivate people. You know what I mean?
Not a lot of sexy shoe tying.
Yeah, so it didn't that didn't go to the NAACP. But what did happen was that same guy that was the fastest damn shoelacer in the world, man, and I don't even know his name. That son of a bitch was smart. You know what I mean? He got noticed. For one thing, and then it opened the doors for him to excel in the areas where he was super strong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like what Howdy Armstrong did in that situation. And I'm talking good. So here's the thing. Think about that. I don't like my dad. I don't like him. I mean, I love him. And, you know, if he was on fire, I'd throw a bucket of water on him. I'm not that guy. If he's on fire, I wouldn't pee on him. Blah, blah. No, I'd put the fire out. But, you know, and then I'd say, you're welcome, and walk away. You know what I mean? That'd be it. You know what I mean? Whatever. But my point, though, is I recognize the fact that he did some cool shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't do that. They don't want to do that. Even you guys still recognize the son of a bitch was good at what he did and great at something. You know what I mean?
And you learned from him.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I learned a ton from him. But that's the thing, though, and that was pretty cool. And then next thing you know, went on to work for pharmaceuticals and shit, and he retired. That's a funny thing. I don't have his education. I don't have his resume or whatever. But I retired at the same daggone age.
Mm-hmm.
Worth the same amount of money, doing it a whole different other way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Straight trades. Straight blue collar. Have good ideas. Be in tune with yourself. Make the right decisions. And yeah, you may be able to cut yourself out of the bullshit workforce at the age of 40, 44.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You retired at a good age. What were you, 59?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, that's great, actually. But that's the thing, is, you know, people being good at shit. But now, I lost track of where we were really at on that. So screw it. I think I can edit this back in without them knowing that we lost track of what we're talking about. Now, I'm going to save this for last because I believe. Okay, so you know there's things in the world that you know are good, but you don't know shit about it. But you just know because everybody talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, okay, it's a Jaguar. Oh, okay, it's a Scarab boat. Oh, okay, it's a Corvette.
Benchmade.
Yeah, oh, it's a Benchmade. There's the knife.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's this. With cigars, I feel this name is that name. So let's just talk about it. Screw it, right?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, the name is
Cohiba.
Cohiba, right? Have you guys heard that name? Have you?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so have you ever heard of that? Now this is what gets me to it. Have you ever heard of Boonfire?
Never.
Have you ever heard of Roxness? Ronx? RONXS?
Never.
No, never. Have you ever heard of this? No. Have you ever heard of this? Promise?
No.
Okay. You heard of this. So this should be fire. Because these are just, who the hell knows what they are? Right?
And Cohiba is probably the most historical cigar brand in Cuba. And then it branched out across the world.
Really?
Yeah.
For equipment or cigars?
Cigars.
And then maybe it's like Smith & Wesson is great at doing guns but bad at knives?
Yeah, and then they started accessorizing and putting cutting tools.
But could it be that?
Yeah.
Could it be the fact that this could be like a Smith & Wesson knife? Or a Browning knife?
Could be.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of quality these guys will do on the tools.
All right. Does it? I'll show you guys. Does it look like what we're talking about?
Looks good.
Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So this has got some kind of like cool wood finish. The boxing's classy. I love the yellow and the black checker. I love everything about it so far, marketing wise, right? And this is what. Let's do the cutters first. Now, if I was going to dinner and I was a cigar guy, or I was going to your secret cigar club, the cigar club that's probably running the world, and I'm sitting here right now with the Illuminati, don't even know it. and you'll never even tell me, and I'll die. You'll die, and I'll be like, oh, you'll die first, all right? All right, you're dead.
Okay, I'll go.
And then somehow I find the file. I find that file that you had, that, I don't know, you had a ring or something, because I'm cleaning out your shit. Your wife goes, Rich, can you come over and help me put prices on his motorcycles and stuff? Because I just can't do it. I can't get over the fact that he died from autoerotic asphyxiation. I just can't get over it. I thought he was a normal guy, but he's a freak. He's a total freak. And I'm like, yeah, Kath, I'll help you. And then I come across that ring.
She knows.
I come across that ring that says that you were part of that secret group, dude. And it's that, you know what I mean? That you see that in movies. And they're like, the hidden life of Brad Garland, in the cigar under circuit, running the world with the Illuminati. Now you're going to an Illuminati party. Is that what you're carrying?
Give me that thing. No, I don't like it.
You would carry one of these before that to the Illuminati party, dude. We're talking Illuminati.
Work it and see.
Yeah, but we're talking. You can't take out the fact that it looks like a piece of billeted stainless or aluminum.
It's poorly made. It's very poorly made.
It's Cohiba.
I don't care,
dude.
Feel that.
Hey, Cohiba, I didn't say this.
Sorry, guys, but who's ever making your
I think it's great.
They suck.
Cohiba, I think it's awesome. Looking.
It's probably not Cohiba.
I haven't even touched it. What do you mean? Is this like the Gucci, the fake Gucci?
Know. Somebody's making these for me.
You know why? You know how much this costs? Take a guess.
$15.
You're an asshole.
Here, read this blade. What's it say?
What kind of guy? I mean, what kind of guy would know that? After what we just talked this shit up, Cohiba, and you're going to actually know the price. And that is a crazy price for what you seem to be getting. Are we going to put some gas in this thing?
You can tell because it was junk. Yeah, let's gas it up.
Yeah, maybe that lighter will change your mind. Okay, I'm going to look at this while you do that because I don't... Do you want me to try to break it? No. Because this is still cool. Because I'm giving this away. I know you're not taking this one. Because Brad's pay for being here tonight is he gets to take home his favorite cigar set and
vehicle.
Vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
My vehicle?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Back to the...
Tell me about it. It's got the triple flame down in there.
Does have the triple flame, but I don't like... For those at home, see how the lid comes towards you? I don't like that.
That lid will get hot. These lids seem to clear better, don't you think?
Well, this just kind of gets in the way of you doing your cigar. I'd rather have it flip away.
I thought you liked that flipping towards you.
Nah, I changed my mind. I do like the switch, though. It has a very nice...
It's got that really cheap plastic
so
brass.
So it doesn't slip off.
That coated brass shit.
Hole punch, 1/4 inch again.
Look, now you know the size, and you're like, Mister, this we got a 1/4 inch hole punch here. The other one before was a 3/16, and the 1/8 inch hole punch is what we were looking for. But what we got here is a 1/4 inch.
You have a micrometer.
Exactly. You didn't even know they would be different sizes 5 minutes ago. Maybe 20 minutes.
I didn't care, really. But...
I know. Well, whatever. Jesus. Man, Cohiba.
I'm let down. What'd you say about the one knife manufacturer that...
Smith & Wesson.
No. It was... Come on, Civivi.
That was when I did the Civivi, the Warncliffe. It's right there behind us.
This is how I feel about the Cohiba. Come on, Cohiba.
Get
your tools together, man.
Yeah, but we knew that was a Civivi knife. I don't think we know this is Cohiba. Right?
I don't know.
It's very convincing. Because this is fresh. I want to put something in it special.
Cool box.
Don't you?
Bad tools.
I don't know, man. It's the only box that makes me feel that way, really. warm and fuzzy. What are you doing?
I just wanted to see if it had a label on there. If it said
Oh yeah,
something.
I see what you mean. Okay, so let's do this real quick. So we've got the 4 open right now, and I'm glad I did this because now we got mystery, guys. Because Brad's gonna. All right, let's do the shot. Nostrava.
Prost.
Prost. I feel better if we got a shot waiting. Okay? He might not be driving home. I got a shop couch. And I got a shop cat to keep him warm. So he's probably not going to drive home. But, okay. So now we got 4 here. And I'm going to let Brad put these in order. You're getting a big one. All right. Put these in order on how he likes them so far. Because now we got like a mystery. What we thought was going to be number 1, and we just said, screw it. We challenged Boonfire. We stepped on him. Because we did Cohiba thinking, okay, we don't even need to open Boonfire, but now we need to open Boonfire. Right? Are you not curious? Because I tell you right now, Cohiba's not beating these 3.
No.
The only thing is this one didn't come with a cutter. But we can still keep it in our heads that it carries a quality that we need to think about.
Let's see this guy.
So Brad's doing this like he was a sommelier. He's really taking his time. He's thinking hard about how important it is that he gets this right. Because cigar people out there, you don't want to piss them off. So this is just like what you see on TV, and the guy could be looking at a gun going, and they're like, we're not sure what he's going to say. But did you see how he was handling that? He looked at that and he grimaced a little when he pulled the switch on the lighter. He gave it just a slight grimace. I know, Steve. I saw the same thing. And I think, look, he's wavering. You know what this is like? Wait. Dog show. You know how the lady keeps going back and squeezing the anal gland on the poodle?
No.
Because yeah, she does. And she's like checking the anal gland on this poodle, then again checking the anal gland on the Akita over there, and then the big blue bloodhound over there. And she got to go back, and then 2 guys are whispering. Look at her. She's walking over by the poodle. Now I can tell. Last time she walked that way towards the poodle, she checked the anal gland. You know that's God. They do that, don't you see? They like grab them by the nuts and they stand them up straight. Oh, look at you opening! You're just saying screw it.
Let's get it done. Let's see.
Daggone it!
And this is the Boonfire, right?
Okay, the Boonfire is looking pretty Curacan air cleaner from, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is very like if you're a motorcycle guy. Curacan used to be like this edgy Viking-looking chrome shit they used to put on air cleaners and spikes on the handlebars. This is very Curacan. And I think I'm murdering the name.
It's a bad sign when your cutter is wrapped in cellophane, though.
Is it?
Let's see. Yeah.
They all were wrapped in.
That's cheesy, man.
Gotta protect that steel.
See, I don't like this.
That thing looks just like the one from the Cohiba.
Feels like it.
Maybe they made the Cohiba.
That thing is. It's just unfinished.
Holy crap. They need to tumble it.
Yeah, they do.
You know what though? You got your lighter that comes with it, but if you had a flint, this would really scrape
Hell
off.
yeah, you can scrape.
Because that's what you look for in a fixed blade knife is a really good, like unfinished back spine in a little area maybe, and you can just really good with that. This would be great.
It would work. And
then you could probably hunt with this. you could
chop kindling.
No, seriously, like you could set up like a little snare, one of those stick snares with a piece of rope.
Dude.
Right?
Catch a mouse?
No, you could get a rabbit by its foot.
Got the backwards flip lid, man.
Backwards flip lid. It looks like an air cleaner for a Yamaha.
Good torch. Kind of bulky, kind of cheesy looking.
Very cheesy looking. Dude, this goes so... I hate this. I never even handled the lighter. Hold on.
It's just unnecessarily bulky.
It's my turn.
Let's hear it.
It is. But do we know that maybe this holds more propane or butane?
Who gives a shit?
Could be important if you're in the bush. Yep. So, I feel like this feels bulky. It feels... So what's this have? Ooh.
Punch.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. I went high tone on that. That's cool. Yeah. I'll put that in the box up close so you get a close-up of just how neat that is.
That sucks because your cut pieces get stuck in that thing.
Or
with the others, you can poke them out.
Yeah.
They're going to build up in there.
That's a good point because this is like a switchblade.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Here we go, man. So.
All right. Cohiba's last. These guys are second to the last.
Hey, what he says doesn't count yet. I might not agree with him.
But it's right. So.
Whatever.
I think I like this cutter the best.
We're not doing that.
What are we doing?
The whole kit first. If you want to pair it up after that, we can. But we're doing the whole kit.
Yeah.
And we're treating this as if it's a kit and that's all you could have. Because you don't need a cutter.
You could just poke it and smoke it. Poke it and smoke it. Dude, I'm coming up with...
Better write it down.
Have you heard of that? Poke it and smoke it?
No.
Daddy Dig Productions. Poke it and smoke it. Time record. Did you get that, Shirley?
You heard it here first.
Yeah, definitely. Poke it and smoke it. I'm doing cigar, AOK product review, cigar shirt, and I'm gonna draw. What should I draw? Like, it's got to be cigar. Poke it and smoke it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have like a rabbit poking a cigar. Poke it and smoke it.
No.
Those aren't going to sell.
Oh, yeah, and see the smoke coming out of the cigar, you know.
So here's the thing that sucks about this lighter.
It's some on my beer.
You pull the lid down, you pull the switch down, the lid stays down. It's out.
Oh, we got to fail. That's what that's called. So we got to trigger lock up, fail, aisle 3, and I'm glad. And you know why I'm glad? So this is the promise, because Brad likes these stupid freaking plastic ones. This is so vinyl seats, dude. Dude, this is pleather.
It works better. It's
Dude,
low
it's pleather,
friction.
man.
It's low friction. It slides.
I hate your voice.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has a fail and pleather seats. That doesn't mean it's last yet. Something might happen here.
Good cutter.
I'm from here. This is black chrome, guys. And I'm from here. And I see this logo on the side, and that lighter just looks sporty. And something like, I'd be like, man, I might carry that thing. And I don't carry lighters. Don't you think it's cool looking?
Mm-hmm. I do like it.
It's fairly simplistic.
This doesn't have a cutter.
Hear me out, Brad.
A punch, I should say.
Let's do this real quick.
Yep.
We're playing make-believe.
Mm-hmm.
If Brad... Okay, so you know how like we were talking earlier about knife designers? We got Ken Onion. You got Ray Lacona. Ray Laconico. You got Hesper Voxanes, right? So these guys are like the Muhammad Alis of the knife world. You're the Hesper Voxanes. You're the Ray Laconico of cigar cutting and cigar lighter kits. Seriously, dude.
Okay.
All right? And we're going to treat these because I don't think it's... These have not entered EDC in the pocket knife world, I don't think, like we do, like the way we review and look at knives and its action and how perfect it needs to be, and the finish, the fit and finish, and the action and the blade material, and how all that is so important. I don't think they do that with these yet.
Not that I've seen.
And they may never do it, but maybe they should, because these all seem like junk, right? In comparison to the fact that, like, when I say junk, it'll work, it'll cut the thing open, but there's no pride here. There's not. Are you feeling me? Is there one of these that stands out where you're just like, that company has pride? Like, they're using certain materials, certain finishes, certain fits, certain, you know what I mean? So like if I open up a roll of knives and I had like a cheap Chinese knife, then I had a good Chinese knife, then I had a great Chinese knife, then I had a Swedish knife, and an Italian knife, and then American, because I think Americans make the best knives. Maybe. Yeah. Don't you? And that's not patriotic. I'm trying to think of somebody.
German.
Yeah, Germans. And then also, like, I think like Laconico, Ray Laconico, and Hesper Voxanes. If you watch an interview, they don't speak English necessarily like we're speaking it. So these guys are foreign and they're incredible. You know what I mean? So I guess it's not just America. But my point is that there isn't a, let's see, a Sativian, then a Sencut, and then a Kaiser, and then a Spyderco, and then a Benchmade. You know what I mean? There's not that here, right? Isn't this just like 5 Sativians?
Yeah, but I would say they're not the highest quality. I've seen better.
So what we're doing here is what I'm getting at. I don't know if Brad's picking up on this because he's an engineer. All right. What I'm picking up on, the vibe off of this is I'm seeing an opportunity in this market based off of, if I had a certain price range, right, a certain budget of knives I was buying. If you gave me a max budget of $100, I can give you and I had to get five different classes of knives and quality that you would recognizably be able to determine the difference in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that with these. I thought Cohiba was going to be a Benchmade. After what Brad says, we'll see. I don't think it's the Benchmade because you know what I mean. I think this looks like it would have been definitely the Spyderco. You know what I mean? This standing alone was a Kaiser. This was definitely a Sativian, and this was a Civivi. You know what I mean? But there isn't that quality gap.
There's not a huge,
because these are just all Sativians.
Yeah, not a huge.
Maybe this is a Civivi.
I think as an overall,
isn't that the best one?
Overall package, I think I would go here.
Definitely. This is the black chrome. It's bulky. It's classy. It has the cool stuff I like. This is definitely, if we're going to say this is not a Benchmade.
No.
But this is the Benchmade right now. What is the Spyderco? Because what we're going to do is Sativian. Let's do Sativian, Civivi, Kaiser, Spyderco, and Benchmade. So we did number 1. This is the winner, guys. The Ronks. Okay? I'll show you in the box and do all that. So this is the Benchmade. Now we're going to go for the next number 2, the second one. What is our Spyderco?
Let me see the one on the end there.
This is the one that doesn't work, but it has the plastic handle. Didn't work.
This was the one.
It failed.
Doesn't have this. Yeah, that's a fail. The lid's got to pop with the switch. That's out.
Right. And what was it? Didn't give you the look? Yeah. It's our catchphrase.
We're going to have to play the tape back and get that.
Fail. Okay, so now.
Fail.
Deuces, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this little podcast with Brad and I.